If you're looking for a car with a hybrid powertrain and a carbon tub, you're probably thinking of something like a McLaren P1, a Porsche 918 or a Ferrari LaFerrari. Well, also have a think about this.
Nope, I've not gone insane, and yes, that is a BMW i3, and I'm going to convince you why it's one of the coolest hatches around.
Now, when this car first came out in 2012, it was probably a little bit ahead of its time in terms of what it was, what it represented, and it was a little bit radical with some of the ideas.
Such as using recycled materials in the cabin, sticking a 600cc engine in the back of the car, used only for recharging the battery on the go, and having these skinny little piddly tyres. Great for efficiency, but also great for fun.
This car has actually got a carbon tub. When I said carbon tub in the intro, I wasn't joking. You can actually see it on the outside when you're walking around the car with the doors open. And that is the supporting structure on the inside of this car, which provides the rigidity and also the lightness. This car weighs 1,300 kilos roughly, which is not a lot. And when you consider that most electric cars we know of, I'm looking at you Tesla, weigh about 2 tons. It's quite refreshing driving something that's actually still quite light and electric.
And when you add 170 all-electric instantaneous horsepower, it starts to all make sense, doesn't it?
So again, 1,300 kilos and 170 horsepower and instant torque. Now, this car's got quite skinny wheels. The skinny wheels and skinny tires aids in improving efficiency by reducing the rolling resistance. And what that also does is remove a little bit of the grip, which makes it playful at the edge of the performance envelope.
Which means it's fun all the time, even at normal speeds.
Go around these corners in this car, it is surprising. You can just punch out and then you... Oh, it's just fun. It is really fun. You'll have a smile on your face and your pocket isn't going to suffer.
Speaking of pockets, what kind of review would this be without some consumer advice? So here's me charging an electric car for the first time, and it was a piece of cake.
So I've just put an electric car on charge for the first time, and it was really, really easy. It was just tapping the card, putting it in, and now we wait for roughly half an hour. And that might seem like a long time, but actually if you're just at a service station, it's probably as much time as you spend there anyway.
Where you'll really save money is the running cost in this car. If you're on the right tariff, you can overnight charge for about £1. Now compare that to filling up a tank of petrol, which will cost definitely a lot more than £1, and you find yourself with not only a fun car, but one that's nice on your wallet.
Now, the BMW i3 comes with 3 different battery sizes. The biggest battery size doesn't come with the petrol ranges extender, so the owner of this car has gone for the second size because it has that extra petrol tank and engine. Now, on a full charge, the electric motor will do 130 miles, and with the petrol extender, it's about 80 more.
Let's talk about the braking. As with most electric cars, this car has got regenerative braking. What this means is when you come off the throttle, instead of using battery power, you're recharging by the motor putting electrons through the other way. Now that sounds confusing, because it kind of is.
Regen braking means the car will slow down by itself when you come off the throttle, which takes some getting used to.
I'm going at 44 miles an hour now. If I come off the throttle, slow down, 40, 37, 35, 36. So you have to get used to letting the regenerative force slow you down and then balance it and blend the brake in. But the brakes themselves are pretty good, but really you don't actually have to use them, which means that your brakes are going to last a lot longer.
And save you some money.
Because this car's got its batteries in the floor, the center of gravity is really low down. And despite what it might look like from the outside, a tall hatchback, it has actually got probably a lower center of gravity than most other road cars, which means that you get really, really stable handling, and it's a joy to drive in the twisties. So how much does the BMW i3 cost? Brand new, these cars were about £40,000, which is quite a lot of money for a small car. But these days, you can pick up a 3-year-old example for less than half that full price. And if you get an early model, you can get one for about £12,000, which, if you ask me, is a bit of a bargain.
So that concludes my thoughts on the BMW i3. Now before we go, there is an elephant in the room, and that is the way this car looks. It's a bit of a Marmite car, it's not for everyone. But if you can look past the way it looks and understand the package that this car contains, you realise you have something pretty great.